Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are walking away from the keyboard and diving straight into the closet.
That's right.
We're talking about the silent language of success professional presentation and how that powerful combination of, you know, uncompromising quality and a perfect fit can fundamentally shift how you're perceived in any professional setting.
It really can. Our mission today is to go beyond just the surface level style tips and give you, the listener, some intensely practical, actionable knowledge. The goal is to turn your wardrobe into a real investment.
And our source for this deep dive is Arshawn McKee. He's a master haberdasher with, nearly 2 decades in the business.
Yep, with his company Alphasuit. We've got his 5 secrets for success in business dressing for men, and we're going to unpack all of it.
Right. So we've taken that guidance and we've really tried to extract the underlying economics and the psychology of dressing well. The goal is to give you a shortcut to boosting your professional confidence and making sure your wardrobe doesn't just look good, but actually last for years.
And if we start with the core philosophy, we immediately hit on what McKee considers the first great secret: quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And this isn't just about having nice things, it's about strategic investment.
I think we all suffer from that tendency, right? Buying 5 passable shirts instead of 2 really excellent ones.
Right.
But what makes a high-quality garment so transformative in a professional context?
Well, there are 2 main things: durability and, I think more importantly, drape.
Okay.
High-quality garments, especially from natural fibers, hold their shape, they resist wrinkling far better, and they just minimize the need for constant maintenance. But the drape, how the fabric falls across your shoulders and body, that projects immediate competence.
So it's not just hanging there.
Exactly. It accentuates your best features and smooths out the rest. Cheaper fabrics just hang. Quality fabrics, they flow.
So if the solution is quality, the inevitable question from the listener is the price tag. I mean, how do you build a high-quality wardrobe without needing to, liquidate your 401k? This brings us to the Alphasuit model. They claim to offer custom clothing at unimaginably low prices. What's the disruption here?
It's a pure, low-overhead model. They've essentially stripped away all the traditional costs you'd associate with tailoring.
Like expensive storefronts.
Expensive high-street retail locations, massive inventory, excessive staffing. All of it. They maintain close vendor relationships and only order inventory based on specific client needs. So they pass those savings directly on to you.
That makes sense. They're prioritizing service and manufacturing over, luxurious real estate.
Exactly.
But for listeners who might be new to custom clothing, we probably need to clarify the difference between the 3 key terms they use. They're often used interchangeably, and they really shouldn't be.
That's vital. So at the very top tier, you have the bespoke suit.
Okay.
The word literally means to give orders. This is the gold standard. It's an original, one-of-a-kind garment, handcrafted piece by piece to the wearer's exact measurements.
So, multiple fittings, starting from scratch.
A completely clean sheet of paper. It's a true collaboration between the tailor and the client.
Then we step down to what's probably most popular in the modern market. That's made to measure, or MTM.
MTM is a fantastic middle ground. It starts with pre-existing standardized patterns. These base patterns are then meticulously customized and altered to fit your exact measurements and style preferences.
So not made from scratch, but way more precise than just buying off the rack.
Far more precise.
Yeah.
And finally, their ready-to-wear is very different from department store stuff. It uses top-quality materials and only needs minor standard alterations.
And when you look at the price points, they cite custom suits for, $595 to $895?
For both men and women, yeah.
And ready-to-wear from $325 to $695? That really does make quality tailoring accessible. It puts MTM in the same price bracket as a high-end department store suit that probably won't fit you nearly as well.
Exactly. It completely changes the value calculation.
Speaking of quality, let's dive into the fibers. The physical proof of secret number 1. We're talking 100% natural fibers only, right?
Absolutely. Natural fibers are the key to breathability, resilience, and that all-important drape we talked about. Wool is the king of versatility. It resists wrinkling, it breathes well, and this is where we have to talk grades. Super 100, 110, 120, and all the way up to 150.
Okay, so what's the practical implication of that number? If I'm looking for my first suit, should I just jump to Super 150?
Right, good question. And no, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
The higher the number, the finer the fiber, which makes the suit softer, more luxurious. A Super 150 will drape beautifully. It'll feel incredible, but
There's a but.
there's a but. Because the fibers are so fine, they're less durable and more prone to wear, so they're ideal for special occasions or, low rotation use.
Yeah.
If you're buying an everyday suit that you expect to wear weekly, a Super 100 or 110 is often the better, more durable, and resilient choice.
You're sacrificing a tiny bit of softness for a huge gain in longevity.
Exactly. We also learned the difference between worsted yarn, which is tightly spun, strong, and smooth, and woolen yarn, which is fuzzier and looser. Worsted is generally what you want for a formal business suit.
Now, what about fibers for warmer climates?
Cotton is excellent for heat. It breathes beautifully. Poplin is a popular lightweight choice, but you just have to accept that cotton wrinkles easily and quickly.
It'll be rumpled by 3 p.m.
It will. And then there's linen, which is made from flax. It has that stylish, casual, tropical look, but it wrinkles very easily, even faster than cotton. And stains are notoriously difficult to lift.
So wool is the ultimate workhorse, but you have to know which grade you're buying, and the absolute rule to protect your professional image.
Avoid polyester and microfiber in professional wear. These are synthetic materials that just don't breathe. They tend to look shiny and, well, cheap, which undermines the whole image of competence you're trying to project.
Okay, let's pivot from the material to the context. Secret number 2 in the source material is dressing for the room cultural intelligence in your attire. This is especially vital when you're interviewing.
Absolutely. You have to gauge the company culture first. Are you walking into a cutting-edge startup where the CEO wears sneakers, or a conservative Fortune 500 company where a tie is just assumed?
Let's start with the extreme end, the formal interview.
A suit and tie are non-negotiable. Stick to conservative colors like charcoal gray or navy blue. The tie should be high-quality silk. For finance or government, solid primary colors, deep red, classic blue are safest. For healthcare or design, you can introduce a bit more color or a subtle pattern.
And always pair this with.
Polished black leather shoes and a matching belt. Always.
And the small detail that elevates the pocket square, what's the expert ruling on that?
The rule is simple. Complement, do not match. Your pocket square should pull a color from your tie or shirt, but if you buy one of those matching tie and square sets, it just looks lazy.
Unsophisticated.
Exactly. The square is meant to be a deliberate artistic accent.
Now, for the millions of interviews that fall into the less formal category, where a full suit might be overkill.
Here, the navy blazer is your versatile weapon, and it's important to note the distinction the source makes. A blazer is solid-colored, while a sport coat has a pattern or texture.
Right.
A dark navy blazer is inherently slimming and classic. You pair it with medium or dark gray trousers, maybe even khaki. A tie is optional. But if you choose a nice knit tie or a subtly patterned wool tie, it shows respect and really distinguishes you from the crowd.
Moving from the clothes to the man wearing them, we need to talk about the non-clothing details. What McKee bundles into hygiene and random tips. These can absolutely torpedo a perfect outfit.
They are so critical. I mean, we assume you've showered, but the specific advice includes clean teeth and carrying breath fresheners. The source specifically recommends Tic Tacs.
Like Tacs. Why?
They last longer than gum and you're not, chewing. And avoid strong, overpowering colognes. Opt for modern, clean scents. And for goodness sake, keep your nails trimmed and cleaned.
And what are the hard limits on jewelry for men in a formal setting?
Strict limits. Maximum jewelry during an interview, a wedding ring, if applicable, and a classic wristwatch. That is it.
No more.
Nope. Skip the nose rings, necklaces, earrings. If you wear cufflinks, keep the style basic until you secure the job. You want your credentials to speak louder than your accessories.
This level of detail orientation, it all culminates in the most important factor of all, the custom fit. The core insight here is that most men wear clothes 1 to 2 sizes too large.
It's the truth, and it's why tailoring is secret number 3 and arguably the most transformative. Clothing that fits perfectly is a form of nonverbal communication. It says you pay attention to detail, you respect the environment, you have confidence.
A well-tailored suit is like a visual architect.
Exactly. It minimizes perceived flaws and maximizes your best features.
Let's get into the specifics for the 4 main body types. The goal is always that the jacket should stay still and not tug when you move. So what are the key features for a tall man who wants to visually shorten their silhouette?
They need visual interruptions to break up that vertical line. This means opting for 2-button jackets. Fewer buttons can help the face look wider, and they should look for flat pockets or ticket pockets.
Okay.
On trousers, cuffs are beneficial. They provide a horizontal break. For shoes, go for a slightly bulkier style and a wider tie to further reduce the appearance of excessive height.
All right, moving to the heavyset man, how does tailoring minimize the appearance of the midsection?
This is a tricky fit. We recommend two-button jackets, and they should look for peak lapels, which draw the eye upward and outward. Double vented jackets are better for mobility and drape, but the absolute golden rule here is to use braces instead of a belt.
Explain why that is so dramatically better.
Well, a belt cinches the trousers below the largest part of your midsection. That just accentuates the stomach and causes the fabric to bunch up.
Right.
Braces, which fasten with buttons inside the trousers, pull them up from the shoulders, allowing the fabric to fall straight and smooth past the stomach. It creates a much cleaner, more streamlined visual line. And they should also skip cuffs on their pants.
And for the short man who needs every advantage to look taller,
They need length and verticality. Avoid longer jackets, stick to shorter models. Pinstripes or chalk stripes are great, as long as they're thin and not too widely spaced. And crucially, they have to avoid horizontal elements. No cuffs, no pleats.
what about the tie?
Keep the tie knot narrow. The bulky Windsor knot is too broad and can make the neck look even shorter.
Finally, the athletic man. A large chest and narrow waist sounds ideal, but it causes huge fitting challenges. The drop.
The drop is the difference in inches between your chest and your waist circumference. If that drop is 8 inches or more, you're going to struggle with standard sizes. You need an athletic cut suit if it's 10 inches or more.
You're in custom territory.
You're pretty much forced into custom made to measure. Because standard patterns are built around a 4 to 6 inch drop, an MTM solution allows the tailor to accommodate that severe taper.
So we've invested the money in quality, we've secured the perfect fit. Now we move to secret number 4, protecting the investment. This is where you actually save money long term.
Exactly. Proper care and maintenance significantly extend the life of high-quality items. And the first, least damaging process should be a daily ritual, brushing.
I think people really underestimate the power of a good brush.
They do. Daily brushing with a proper natural bristle brush is the most effective way to maintain a suit. You brush against the nap first to loosen dirt and food particles, and then vigorously with the nap in long strokes. This gets debris out before it embeds itself.
And saves you countless trips to the dry cleaner.
Countless. And speaking of maintenance, what's the consensus on steaming versus ironing?
Good question.
Steaming is excellent for suits. It uses moisture to relax wool fibers and release wrinkles without crushing the material, which an iron does. Investing in a commercial-grade garment steamer is highly recommended.
But it doesn't work for everything.
Right. It's less effective for getting that really crisp look on cotton shirts or pants, which brings us to the more aggressive methods.
The elephant in the closet? Dry cleaning?
Limited. The source urges limiting dry cleaning because the chemical solvents, while effective, slowly break down the structural integrity of the natural fabric over time. For cotton items that need that crispness, professional laundering or just ironing at home with spray starch is much gentler.
If we are going to iron at home, any quick tips?
Always use a steam iron, make sure you have the right heat setting, and iron garments wrong side out, except for cotton and rayon. And here's a neat trick. If you use a silver ironing board cover or put aluminum foil under the cover, it reflects the heat, effectively ironing both sides at once.
Let's not neglect the foundation. The shoes, they have to be cared for.
Shoe care is essential. Polish, like the KIWI brand, isn't just for shine. It moisturizes and waterproofs the leather, preventing it from cracking. The 4 steps are cleaning, applying polish, aggressive brushing, and then for a mirror shine, focusing on the toes and heels with a damp cotton ball.
And how should we store these investments?
2 things are mandatory. Use a cedar shoe tree to maintain the shoe's shape, and use high-quality wooden hangers for your suits. These need to have broad, rounded shoulder supports. Wire hangers will destroy the shoulder padding.
They cause those awful dimples.
They do. And always allow a suit 24 hours of airing before you wear it again. Let the fibers breathe and recover.
One final point on care, stain removal. That panic moment when coffee hits a new tie.
Address it immediately.
Yeah.
And crucially, never apply heat or hot pressing if a stain is present, because heat will set it permanently into the fibers. You also have to avoid dry cleaning some items like cotton or silk shirts if a stain is present, because that process can actually bind the stain to the material.
So to synthesize the journey we took today, success in professional presentation really hinges on 3 strategic pillars. First, prioritizing quality fibers like correctly graded wool and understanding the difference between bespoke MTM and ready-to-wear.
Second, recognizing that the perfect fit, customized precisely to your body type, whether you need to break up height or manage a large drop, sends the most important nonverbal cue of all: professionalism and attention to detail.
Right.
And finally, that investment is meaningless without consistent targeted care, primarily relying on daily brushing and scheming, and minimizing exposure to damaging processes like frequent dry cleaning. The whole system is connected.
So here is the final provocative thought we want to leave you with, tying the economics of quality back to your personal finances. Since custom clothing fits you perfectly and highlights your unique personality from the texture to the collar shape, you are naturally going to wear those durable, expert-crafted items far more often than cheaper impulse buys.
Hmm?
So when you factor in the years of use and the avoided replacements, are you considering the lifetime cost per wear of your wardrobe, or are you still just looking at the sticker price?
Something to mull over as you organize your cedar shoe trees
Hmm.
and find that old boar bristle brush.
Thank you for joining us for the deep dive. We'll see you next time.